This is The Failure of Fyre Festival by Internet Historian. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and that subscribe button, because it takes a lot of time to research this kind of stuff and like make videos like this. And he always does like funny stuff, and that takes a lot more time. Oh.
Hi there.
Is this Lost?
You're probably wondering how I got this tan. Well, let me tell you the story. It begins with a man by the name of Billy McFarland. Billy was
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. I thought Billy McFarland was supposed to be like a cool guy. I thought he looked super cool. This guy looks kind of like a nerd. He looks like me. Not like me, and then I look like this guy. Just like he looks as awkward as I do when I take pictures. He looks as awkward as I do when I take pictures. I thought Billy McFarland, I never saw a picture of him. I thought he was like a cool guy. Like I thought that's how he convinced everyone to do it, was that he came off with really cool aura. I didn't know that he had the same awkward aura I had. I could pull the Fyre Festival off. Wait, hold up. I had the aura.
a good boy. At 22, he had dreams of becoming a super wealthy entrepreneur, dropping out of college to start a business called Magnesis. Over the years, he managed to network with some powerful people.
I know it's a credit card, but that sounds, I think it's because Magnum, but all I can think is like condom.
One of them was Ja Rule. Translated from German, I believe it means yes, rule. Over drinks, he pitched an idea. Here's an accurate recreation of that event.
Mr. Rule,
He says,
I have a brilliant idea.
Like, word, like, yo, what happened? Woo. I'm like, yo, this nigga too wild, fucking his bitch. Woo.
precisely, great minds think alike. It will be 2 weeks of absolute luxury in the Bahamas.
Ship.
Mr. Rule. Promotion began in late 2016.
Oh my, I feel like we shouldn't be watching
Fyre
this.
promised beaches, ladies,
Ooh, ladies.
gourmet food, luxury villas. Hosted on a private island in the Bahamas called Fyre Cay, once owned by Pablo Escobar. VIP tickets up to $250,000. Swimming pigs. Blink 182. Major laser.
Blink
a
182?
steel drum. Well,
Listen, fellas, if I want to listen to Blink 182, I'll just listen to the album that Apple voice installed on my iPod.
welcome to Fyre Festival. The best 2 damn weeks of your life. I bought my ticket immediately. The day
It'd be
arrives.
so funny if you actually
About
did.
5,000 people are making their way directly from Miami Airport, and
Oh,
there
yeah,
are
he
huge
did. Look,
delays
there
to
he
get
is.
to Fyre
There
Cay.
he is.
Although I shouldn't say Fyre Cay, because it doesn't exist. In the marketing, they referenced this island, which is actually Norman's Cay, run by George Jung, not Pablo, by the way. But that doesn't matter because we're not going there either. We're going to Great Exuma. Private island?
So does
Forget
anyone know
that.
where they...
Population, 7,000. In fact, we're...
So, a bunch of people... I'm sorry. I'm already... So the location changed after people bought the tickets and nobody thought that was sus. Okay.
basically in the parking lot of a sandals resort. In the end, only about 500 of us make it to the island. The remaining customers' flights are cancelled. You're about to see why.
Okay,
We're hauled onto
probably
a
for
school
the
bus
best.
and taken to the site, a gravel lot with a bunch of FEMA tents.
Oh, I thought that
Remember
was
those
the plan
promises of
B.
luxurious villas? Pranked ya. Enjoy your stay, and don't forget your complimentary cup of UNICEF rice.
Turn this bus right around.
Once there, no one knows whose tent belongs to whom, so staff try getting everyone into a line. Then they abandon that idea and tell everyone it's a free-for-all.
Hopefully everyone has a dick.
Expecting a party, this guy took all of his drugs on the flight over. He's the
Fair.
only one having any fun.
I mean, somebody has to be the life of the party. It's definitely not the host.
Everyone else is grumpy because it's been 5 hours and there's no food. In lieu of food, staff decide to start handing out tons of free
I was
tequila.
gonna say, is that alcohol?
This only exacerbates problems.
So smart. They'll be so drunk they won't think about anything.
Once the food does arrive, it's just as delectable as promised though. Gourmet craft single there. A few hours later, bags arrive on a shipping container. It was getting dark and there was no lighting.
So everybody's walking around with their cell phones trying to look for their luggage.
Plenty of people had their luggage stolen.
$250,000?
But don't worry, if you have any valuables, the festival advertised top-notch
No.
security. Here it is.
Oh,
But
that's
no one
top
told
notch.
guests they had to provide their own lock. There are
Top
rumors
notch.
of muggings by the locals.
I heard rumors of feral dogs.
A tent supposedly caught fire. The closest beach has a rampant shark problem. Staff don't have any uniforms or walkie-talkies, so no one knows who's in charge, and the people who are in charge can't talk to each other. Here's the bathroom.
Don't show me that. That's disgusting.
Many staff quit after only a couple of hours. For the few customers who were willing to just make the most of it and enjoy the music, they had some bad news too. All of the major musical acts pulled out. In fact, Major Lazer wasn't even
I think it's kind of crazy that any music acts even agreed to this to begin with.
confirmed to go in the first place.
Oh,
The
well,
event
they
was
didn't.
promoted as cashless, so all people had were these useless Disney bucks on their Fyre bands, which meant they couldn't buy anything or catch a cab if they were stranded. And even with only 500 people, there are too few tents and beds, so everyone is just stealing each other's.
No,
And for
this is
any
just
of you
like
thinking
Squid
you
Game.
could just
I'm
escape to the
kidding.
sandals, bad luck.
No
It's peak
blinking
season
out
and they are
loud.
absolutely full. People are reaching out to the embassy for help. After a few hours, most people chose to go back to the airport,
I would.
and the rest were forced back home when the Bahamian government stepped in. The festival was closed. But the exodus from the island made its own problems. Guests
I
spent
mean, yeah.
hours dehydrated and hung over in a hot building.
Okay, listen, I'm not blaming the people, but if their solution is to start handing out alcohol, I'm definitely not getting drunk in this scenario. I'm definitely staying sober until this shit gets figured out. I'm not getting drunk. I am not pouring tequila down my throat like there's no tomorrow, because it is tomorrow, and tomorrow I might not have any of my stuff if I drink too much.
Why staff locked the door isn't entirely known,
You cannot leave.
but one girl fainted before they were finally reopened.
Wow.
Everyone gets home, and that was the end of it. Except for me. I was rescuing someone, helping them out, and I got lost in the woods. Anyway, back at home, the shitstorm on social media was just ramping up. The Reddit Fyre Festival was created, and it started documenting everything that went wrong at the event. People were circulating a fake tweet by Jar that the whole thing was a social experiment.
That
Some
would have been
wholesome
funny though
festival
if he
memes there.
actually did tweet
And
that.
it quickly turned into a marketing case study of what not to do. In response, Fyre started serving cease and desist letters to
Oh my
stop people
God.
from saying mean things about them.
That's never a
Mr.
good
Rule
sign.
released an official statement online, both apologizing and saying that it's not his fault. Interestingly,
I'm sorry I participated in this, but also it's not my fault that you also participated in this. I know I put my face on it and I kind of put myself out there as the person in charge of it. Well, one of the people in charge of it. But listen. Kind of on both of us, buddy. I took the job, but you paid for the ticket. So whose fault is it really? The person that told you to spend the money or the person that spent the money? Because it seems like you still have the credit card in your hand. What a jackass. Exactly. I hate when people do stuff and then they're like, what? I didn't do that. I have stuff that I'm innocent. It's like if you put your name on something, if you co-sign something and you say, hey guys, spend money on this, then to me, you're putting your faith in it. And to me, you're telling your fans to put their faith in it. And that's just a jackass thing to do if you don't actually believe in the product. That's why I said, like, if I ever get sponsored by something, I'm never going to take a sponsorship for something that I think is trash. Because, like, to me, that's just crappy. To me, like, you shouldn't put your face or your name on something unless you actually have faith in it. Because, like, your face and your name are such a big part of who you are. Like, are such a big part of who you are that, to me, that has almost as much sway as you just putting money into it. Like, money talks loud, but if you're willing to put your face and your name to it, like, that talks even louder to me.
he wasn't even on the island at the time. He was giving a concert in Chicago. Although, to their credit, they offer everyone a full refund. Or
Or
you could always
the
let
big
it
or.
ride and opt in for tickets to 2018's Fyre Festival.
What?
And the VIP ticket to next year's Fyre Festival. If they decide to go. Exactly.
No, listen, that's a bigger insult than not offering your... No, I won't say that's a bigger insult than not offering a refund. I won't go that far, but that's a huge insult to even suggest that you're going to have next year's and it's going to be bigger and you get a VIP ticket. Like, shut up. You could even do this year's.
Meanwhile, Billy is on full damage control. He claims that a storm came in the night before and changed all of the marketing into lies.
We got to a point that we were very excited about on Wednesday night with how the two sites looked, and we got hit by a big storm.
But the apologies weren't enough. A few days later, and the first lawsuit was served.
Attorney Ben
We got hit by a storm and it turned all our cabins into FEMA tents, and it turned all our food into cheap food, and it turned all our music performances into cancellations, and it actually changed the island that we were holding on. It was a crazy storm.
Salas doesn't think it's funny. He's filed a $100 million class action lawsuit against the organizers.
Then another suit. Then 7 more. Then the feds got involved, claiming Billy had committed wire fraud. Serious charges with serious prison time.
I know.
More on that later.
Neither am I, buddy.
Right now, let's go into the history of Fyre Festival. The marketing was clever. To get the word out, they got in touch with about 400 influencers, Instagram celebrities, and they offered them VIP tickets or cash to promote the event. They even managed to get Kendall Jenner to post about it. Rumor has it she was paid $250,000 for this post.
What?
The marketing worked though. The festival sold out. So how did it go so wrong? Let's start with the money. During the planning process, a consultant came in and said the festival would cost $50 million and require another year of organization.
Imagine getting paid to post on Instagram. Well, I know a lot of people make fun of it, but I do feel like it is a legitimate job because, like, I don't know the first thing about Instagram. I post my stuff on Instagram. I haven't really lately just because I haven't made any, like, shorts lately. But, like, I post stuff on Instagram all the time. And I can tell you, I don't know why some get better views than others. I do not understand it. But some people understand that very well, and they are very good at it. I don't think Kendall Jenner is one of those examples. I think she just kind of has the family name and got famous that way. And Instagram's like where all the famous people that also do influencer stuff post. Hello, Laya in chat. Hello, Theo. Hello. But like, I think that like, it's not a legitimate business. I think it is like, I don't think that Instagram models and Instagram influencers deserve the hate they get, because I do think it's just as legitimate as something like YouTube. It's probably like YouTube. Exactly. I think that like it is just as much work. It's just a different type of work. And it can seem like, you know, it can seem like it's not real work sometimes, but like, yeah, I could probably sit down and eat my meal and like, I could probably sit down to eat my meal and be like, oh, I'm gonna take a picture. But I don't know, like, what's going to be, like, the right angle, what's going to be, like, the right tags, what's going to be, like, the right description to, like, make people want to look at my stuff over other stuff. But somebody else out there probably understands that, and a lot better than I do.
They should have planned this 2 whole years out.
This is after they made all the promises. And they had nothing near that amount. So they started cutting expenses way back. Remember those luxury villas? They were going to cost $10 million alone.
What?
So they scrapped them. Now everyone gets a tent. Deposits for the bands? Nope. Food, infrastructure, staff, all were cut back.
Concierge
will
just...
How did they
Wait,
have
I gotta
so
go back.
little...
I gotta go back. That was so outrageous. Wait. Do you see the concierge?
Food, infrastructure, staff.
The concierge thing is literally just 2x4s. What is this? Oh, Fyre. It's a Fyre festival. Yeah, the concierge is literally just 2x4s. But they still got the alcohol.
All were cut back. But, you may ask, how did they have so little cash if they sold out? It's the price. It was way too low. Now wait a minute, up to $250,000 a ticket is too low. In fact, on social media, people were so merciless and unsympathetic towards the guests because they thought it was a bunch of rich kids paying for tickets with a starting price of $12,000. And you can thank fake news for that assumption. You see that number repeated everywhere. But actually, very few were paying even close to that amount. The standard price was around $1,200.
Okay, I
Which,
see
if
how...
you think about 2 weeks in the Bahamas with practically all of your expenses taken care of, that's pretty bloody good. In fact, some tickets were as low as $500.
What?
6 months ago,
That's
got together and got the early
bargain?
bird special for about $500, and this covered.
That's suspiciously low. Like, okay, I have to say this though. This goes back to what I was saying about like when you put your face on a product. A lot of people probably felt like it was legitimate because influencers were taking the money and were doing it. Oh, thank you for the look. A lot of people probably felt like it was legitimate because influencers were supporting it and like posting it and like putting it up, and like they probably were like, oh, the influencers are gonna go too, so like it is legitimate even if it's ridiculously cheap to a suspicious degree. That's probably the thought process, is like there's so many people advertising it and they're getting paid to advertise it, so clearly this has money behind it. So like that's the only thing I can imagine. That's the only thing, because like $500 is ridiculously cheap for that. It's suspiciously cheap, dare I say. Very suspicious. $500 for 2 days in Bahamas? Not sus at all. Well, not just that. That includes the food, the housing, and also the ticket there. I think it included the plane ride there. Did he say that?
For food, transportation, ticket, and somewhere to sleep.
How on earth were they going to break even with that? They weren't.
Nope.
And on the flip side, there's no proof whatsoever that anyone purchased a $250,000 ticket. So basically, they're stuffed. Billy has to start taking tough short-term loans just to keep afloat. Which, by the way, is why they did the Fyre bans. It was to raise cash. It's reported that up to $2 million in Firebucks in-game currency was spent in the lead up to the event. But this wasn't even close to enough. Practically broke, and with the event only a few weeks away, the more experienced staff suggested postponing.
Man.
But thanks to those short-term loans, he couldn't. So he insisted on going forward. Those staff tried to control the damage by telling celebrities and public figures not to go.
A lot of planning issues here.
How was the Fyre Festival?
So, Billy and Jar are in some serious trouble. But let's please have one failed festival that has a sequel.
Okay.
Well, Billy is out on $300,000 bail. His assets were frozen as at May 18th. He dropped his expensive attorneys. He's selling his property in New York. He tried to sell Magnesis for $150,000, but it was cancelled for being fraudulent. Massively in debt and with no hope of paying it back. Fyre went into involuntary bankruptcy.
I'm not surprised. Who here is surprised?
That is the end of Fyre Festival.
This is just like Movie Pass, but worse.
I'll keep you posted about whether Billy is going to jail. So long, Fyre Festival. You were too beautiful for this world. And as for me, well,
I live in the Bahamas now. Two hours later. No, that's about right. That seems about right. Did he not have a sponsor on this video? I'm surprised. Did he not have a sponsor on this video? I'm very surprised. His sponsor was Fyre. Oh my god. Honestly, like, I thought the ticket prices were like average $12,500, but $500, I would not pay $500 to go to this. That is suspicious. That is suspicious. I would be worried that I was getting kidnapped for $500. That, honestly, like, I have to be honest though, if you had other accommodations in the Bahamas, and depending on how much a ticket to the Bahamas was, maybe that would be a good deal on a plane ticket. Just the plane ticket. Like, maybe that would be a good deal just on that. And then go get drunk at the beach with all those random people, free alcohol, and then go back to your real hotel room.